heart that hurts. I want to spend my life mending broken people. I want to spend my life mending broken people.
Hello, I am Idalia Dinzey, and I am in the 3ABN Today kitchen with Chef Carin Lynch. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's good to be back. How's that?
Exactly. We are so excited to be in your home today. Thank you for tuning in to your ministry, 3ABN. We're excited because the Lord has been good and faithful in our lives, and He is good and faithful in your life too. During this program, we are going to celebrate life. We're going to have some special recipes. Could you please talk to us about what kind of recipes we're going to be making?
Well, we're going to be doing plant-based recipes.
Plant-based recipes. What does that mean?
Well, you know, I think a lot of times people think like, oh, when we take meat products out, we should just be vegan. But I've learned over the course of years that a vegan diet, it does take animal products out, but it doesn't necessarily put in healthy foods. And the second thing is that it sometimes has a connotation of maybe Far Eastern religions or different things like that. But what we want to do is we want to embrace a plant-based diet. A plant-based diet meaning taking out animal products, but incorporating healthy whole foods. So whole food plant-based is what our goal is.
Amen. Very good and very clear. Well, for your knowledge, I just want you to know that she can speak with authority because she is certified nutritionist.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about yourself.
I have a certificate in plant-based nutrition from Cornell University Center for Nutritional Studies. I also have taken the culinary program through the Ruby International Cooking School called Forks Over Knives. So I concentrated on whole food plant-based culinary arts.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, Forks Over Knife was a documentary,
yes,
wasn't
correct.
it?
Yes, and a lot of people know about it too. So when I say that, they're like, oh, it kind of perks them up. They're like, oh, wait a second, I'm familiar. So it kind of, resonates with people. Yep.
Very good. Well, folks, it's amazing how many things you can serve at a party, but the time is limited. It's only 1 hour program today, so we will share about 5 recipes, maybe 6 recipes with you during this hour. But I want to let you know, just pay attention to the tips that she's sharing, nutritional information that she will be sharing with us. Chef Carin will be sharing with us because we are offering you the free recipes by just visiting our website at 3abn.tv, or you can download the app 3ABN Plus, and you can get all the information from all the channels that we have available. But also, we're going to go later on in the program, we're going to take time to share the contact information. Let them know, are you available to do seminars in the churches, in different communities?
Absolutely. You know, part of the ministry, my husband and I are the North American Division Directors for LIGHT Ministry. And LIGHT is the Lay Institute for Global Health Training. And so we travel all over the United States and worldwide too. So if somebody wants us overseas or in the Caribbean,
I'll go with you. I'll
there
translate.
You go. Of course.
I'll translate.
So that's right. We will go and we will do programs with health emphasis, teaching about medical missionary work, teaching about hydrotherapy, massage, cooking schools, and disease and treatment. We do a little bit of everything in order to excite and encourage the church to embrace health evangelism to reach their community for Jesus Christ.
Excellent. Well, we're going to have fun this hour because we're going to party away with some plant-based family party made easy recipes.
Yep.
Now, we're ready to go to the first recipe, guys. So like I said, you can take pictures of the screen so you have the recipe, or you can simply visit our website, 3abn.tv. Please, let's go through the menu, what we're going to prepare today. So I'm going to read the menu for you, but you're going to enjoy the looks of these dishes, like the creamy spinach and artichoke dip. Look at that. Doesn't that look appetizing? Very nice presentation. Also, a different choice for cheese dip. This is a potato cheese dip, as you can see. Oh my, we're gonna find out how we're gonna use this cheese in this party. Now we're gonna prepare some Baja Black Bean Bites. Baja Black Bean Bites. And we're going to prepare some garlic hummus. That's right, garlic hummus is something very familiar, but very good at parties. Now, Carob Brownie Buttons. That looks like a fun recipe, doesn't it? And of course, we're gonna hit it hard this party away with Salted Carmel Popcorn. This is all vegan and plant-based cooking. So how about if we go to the first recipe?
Sure, let's go.
You ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Let's make this creamy spinach and artichoke dip.
Okay. We're going to start with a half cup of plant-based mayo of your choice, a half cup of plant-based Parmesan, or you could use a half cup of nutritional yeast flakes, 1/2 cup of canned or marinated artichoke hearts, drained and chopped, 12-ounce package of frozen chopped spinach, defrosted and then drained really well, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder.
You know, I've been to restaurants because they offer appetizers.
Sure.
And I just love the artichoke, Spanish artichoke creamy dips.
Yes.
And I didn't realize, because I didn't make it a habit to read the labels.
Sure.
And of course, now that you have this recipe here, it has encouraged me, like, wow, forget those restaurants. I can prepare my own plant-based one. Yes.
And when you see how simple it is, again,
yeah,
it's parties made
ingredients.
simple. If you're going to have a party, you want to make it simple on
Yes,
you. You want to enjoy your company, right?
That's
so let's
right.
make this easy. So I'm going to start with the spinach. We're going to put that right in a bowl, and
Yes.
I drain this. Now, I want to tell you something interesting about spinach. You know,
This is frozen, thawed,
it was and drained, but I drained it really well. I actually took my fist and drained out the water, squeezed it completely. Now, I'm using a frozen spinach. You know, the frozen spinach is actually I would say the best deal in your frozen food section in the store. You know, did you ever buy fresh spinach before?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
so
of course.
when you buy fresh spinach and you want to use fresh spinach and you want to cook it, right? You buy this much spinach, right?
It comes to nothing.
And then you get this much on your plate.
Yes, that's right.
But when they do frozen spinach, they blanch it ahead of time, and then they flash freeze it, so it's already shrunk. So for $1.69, you're getting what you get.
That's right.
Versus this much for $10. Now I'm a proponent of fresh foods.
Yes.
So don't think I'm just telling you not to eat fresh spinach.
Right.
However, this is a great opportunity to save a couple dollars too.
Yeah,
so we have our
wonderful too.
We got our spinach. Today I'm using some plant-based Parmesan cheese. Now you can buy this in usually like a health food store, Whole Foods, something like that. But you could use, if you didn't want to use something that was already processed a little bit, you could use nutritional yeast flakes. It works beautifully in it.
And the nutritional yeast flakes is good because it's got what vitamins?
It has it's fortified with B vitamins. And what they do is they make the yeast by they take molasses or sugar, grow the yeast, dry it, grind it, and then they fortify it with B vitamins. So we have a condiment that tastes cheesy and delicious, but at the same time, it has a nutritional value with our B12 especially.
Wonderful. B12,
That's
exactly.
right.
Because people say, well, you're plant-based, you're missing some minerals, and what about your B12?
That's right. They say it all the time, and you know what's funny? People that are not plant-based are also B12 deficient, and that's kind of because we have kind of ravaged our earth, you know? We have, all the microbes is where the B12 comes from, and that's where our plants get the B12, and that's where our food gets the B12 when we eat it. However, if we ruin the soil, when we ruin the soil, we certainly have taken out that B12. So it's nice to get it in something like a condiment, like that.
Okay, well,
all right.
What's next?
We have our artichokes, and I just have canned artichokes here. You could use frozen. I didn't put that in the recipe, but you could use frozen if you wanted to.
Okay.
We have our plant-based mayo. Whatever favorite
And you know,
one.
more and more options are available for plant-based mayo, plant-based cheeses, and the Parmesan.
Well, you know, actually, I have, like, in my cookbook, I have 3 mayo recipes.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, one's made with soy, one's made with nuts, and then I have made one with aquafaba, which we're going to talk about in a little while.
Aquafaba.
I have some garlic powder here. Let me make sure that's all in there, and a little lemon juice.
Very good.
And all we need to do here is
mix it up really good.
Mix it up good. This dip is actually good for, you can heat it. So if you wanted a warm dip, you could make this. It's great cold though, but if you wanted a warm one, you could heat it up. Or
you could probably just put it in a little crock pot, huh?
Sure, make a nice hot dip.
Right.
And, and you can have some like tortilla chips or whatever with the hot dip.
Pita.
Pita, that's right. Also, you can also, I've used this where you made a bread dough.
Yes.
Roll it out and you can make a like bread
spiral.
braid or a roll. You put it filled and you bake that in the oven. So
Sounds
you can do
good
this
to
as
me.
good. That's just
Are
an
you
option.
making that today too?
That's not, no, we are going to use the bread though, because I thought it would be a good idea to put it in, if we're going to use it as a cold dip,
Right.
let's put it in the a bread bowl.
Bread
so
bowl.
I made a little bread bowl there. So we have,
Very nice.
I'm going to stick that in there.
Yes. That looks
And
great.
why not?
That's simple,
People eat with their
guys.
eyes, right? So let's make it pretty.
Yes.
We can pile
Load
that
it up,
on. That's right.
sister.
That's what I'm doing. I'm going to get that.
That looks really yummy. Very delicious. Oh yeah. Pour it in. More.
Almost got it all.
There we go. It looks
Ooh, wait, I dropped a
great.
little bit there.
Oh, that's
All right,
okay.
it. There we go.
It looks gourmet that way.
How's that?
Oh, gorgeous. It looks great. Just six ingredients and you have this creamy spinach artichoke dip. Well, I am ready to continue partying, sister. What's the next recipe that we're going to?
Okay, we're gonna start with our second recipe, which is going to be our potato cheese dip. We have 2 to 3 potatoes peeled and cubed, 2 to 3 carrots peeled and sliced, 1/2 of an onion cut into chunks, just enough water to cover those vegetables in a pot about 1 inch, 1/3 cup extra virgin olive oil, 1.5 teaspoons of Himalayan pink salt, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1/2 cup nutritional yeast flakes, 1/4 teaspoon garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon chicken-like seasoning, and 1/2 cup of water.
Very well, this is another option for your cheese selection, homemade plant-based cheese. So, potato?
We're going to do a potato cheese. Now, the nice thing about this is for people that have nut allergies, because a lot of plant-based cheeses can be, made with like cashew cheese,
Yes.
which I do at home all the time. But
Right.
sometimes you have somebody who is
allergic to
exactly.
cashews.
And also, this is actually a little cheaper option because cashews can be a little pricey. So, what we did is I chopped up some potatoes, some carrots, and
Let
onions.
me peek in there then.
Oh, you can peek.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you have your onions in there already.
Everything, yeah, I have it
Okay.
all in there,
So you
and
cook
we're
it all together.
That's right. So we're boiling that up. We're getting that so if they soften up. So I've already started them, and we should be almost ready to go.
Excellent.
In a minute. So what we'll do is we'll I can
Oh,
do
yeah.
that. Yeah, they're just about soft. So let me just make sure. Oh, I think we're good. Let me see here.
So make sure your potatoes are cooked all the way and your carrots. And so you're going to have this creamy, like nacho type of thing or
Well, this is
thicker?
going to just be, it's going to be like a cheese sauce. It's going to be pourable.
Okay.
But it's also going to be, you can serve this not only hot, you can also serve it cold.
Oh, wonderful.
So it's so tasty cold. So it's good because we're going to actually use this cheese sauce for another recipe. You'll
Oh,
see
okay.
you'll see in our next segment what we're going to do. But I think we're
Excellent.
almost ready for that. But I'm going to start putting in these ingredients, and then that should be done in shortly. So I have some olive oil here. I'm going to pour
Yes.
the olive oil in. This is going to, cheese has a fattiness to it.
Yes.
And so this is going to kind of mimic that and give that. And that's that extra virgin olive oil, which is the only one I use, the cold
Yes.
pressed.
Cold pressed.
Nutritional yeast flakes that we
Yes.
talked about before.
B12.
That's right, the B12 vitamins. We're going to put those in.
Yes.
Okay, I have some water here. Just have enough to make that a nice
How
smooth.
long does this hold for?
You mean for like
Lasts
in the
in the
refrigerator?
refrigerator.
Oh yeah. They really say that we should try to keep foods like 3 to 5 days at the most. But if you cover something really well in like a good sealed container, it may last for a little longer. But trust me, when you make this and it tastes so good, it's not going to last. That's what happens. So I have some lemon juice
Good to
here.
know. Yes.
Cheese again has a little tartness, that little
Yes, it does.
sharpness to it. So we're going to do that. Chicken style seasoning. Now this is just some herbs mixed together in some seasonings to kind of give it like a little flavor. We have some garlic powder. Let me make sure I get that all out. I want to make sure
Yes.
our flavor of our cheese is good. We have some onion powder.
Very good.
And
so we get onion powder and the actual onion.
oh, you're going to put it both in. That's right. And then lastly, we are going to have some salt.
Yeah.
Let me get the Himalayan pink salt. We've talked about that on another show. So.
Yes,
All
that's right. You've recorded various programs here at 3ABN. So
Yeah.
it's a good time to invite you to our 3ABN YouTube channel that's available, and you can see a lot of the cooking programs there.
All right. So I think this is just about done because, like I said, we had gotten this started.
Okay.
And I think we're good to blend.
All right.
So I'm going to turn this off and just going to drain everybody. I have a little.
Let's turn the knob the other direction, Chef. There you go.
Oh, I just didn't turn it. Oh, turn it off completely. Aha, there it is. She's got it.
So you drain it.
I'm going to drain the water out.
Okay.
So I just have a little tiny colander here. You can go to the sink and do this too, but I figured we're right here. Why don't we just use this cute little colander?
Yeah, it is.
It's adorable, right?
I love kitchen gadgets. It makes the work in the kitchen more fun.
It does. You know, I used to be a big gadget person, and I have so many. I've learned, though, to also be resourceful with other things in my house, too.
Of course.
Sometimes when I do, like, patties, I'll use
The canning
the
lids.
canning lids, you know. So now I've been much more resourceful. So we're just going to...
Very good. Here we go. It's all going in the blender.
That's right. A little bit of water is in there, but just don't want it to... Oh, we're losing a potato there.
Oh, that's okay. One potato to potato.
That was a good nursery rhyme, right?
I don't
A little
even know.
game for the children. All right, and then all we
right.
need to do is blend.
Okay.
If you want to do that, that would be great. We
Sure.
have you might need the tamper for that.
Yes, I have the temper and the lid for it. It's good?
Yeah, I think so.
All righty. There you go.
All right.
Oh,
We have a nice,
so creamy.
cheesy, saucy.
Beautiful.
Now, I know people who have nut allergies. We've used this for mac and cheese, too.
Nice.
So you can do that as well. And so I'm just going to come over here and
Yes.
scrape this out a little bit. Hate to waste.
Go for it.
Then we will pour our cheese sauce in there and have a great dip.
Yes. This is amazing, isn't it? Funny how these items, ingredients that we use them every day, we never think of, making a cheese sauce out of it. Look how
Yeah, I mean,
rich and
potatoes,
creamy that is.
potatoes, onions, carrots, you usually have in your house anyway. How easy is that, you know?
I love it.
So let's
Very nice. So definitely you will save a lot of money. And not only that this is such a healthy alternative. Very good. Wow, this is very inviting, very tempting too, but I'll behave. Let's go to the next recipe.
All right.
The next recipe that we're preparing for you is the Baja Black Bean Bites. What do we need?
Okay, we're going to start with 24 wonton wrappers, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 8 ounces of plant-based cream cheese, 1.5 cups of black beans, or a 15-ounce can of black beans, drained, rinsed, and also divided into 2 3/4 cup portions. 3 tablespoons of taco seasoning, 1/4 cup of scallions, thinly sliced, 1/2 cup of plant-based shredded cheese or cheese sauce. And then we can garnish with things like chopped tomatoes, chopped cilantro, salsa, a plant-based sour cream, chopped black olives, guacamole, avocado, whatever you're looking to top it with.
This is a very nice treat, these bites. How do we make them?
Oh, you know what? This is actually the first recipe that I ever put together and developed
Wow.
It is. My friend, I saw it in a recipe contest, and I said,
Right.
oh, I'm going to do something vegetarian.
Right.
And now I've made it plant-based because I was a vegetarian at the time, but
Right.
as I transitioned to more plant-based, I made it a plant-based recipe, and it is amazing.
Oh,
I love this
it's
recipe.
a winner.
All right.
Very good. What do we do first?
Well, we're going to start with wonton wrappers. You can buy these like any food store in the produce section.
Yes.
And they're vegan.
That's
so
right.
the good news is that you can use those, you know, and we're going to take a little olive oil.
The wonton wrappers are like for egg rolls or
Asian
something?
cooking, like the wontons
Okay.
they use. So I just take them and put them on a plate here. We're going to put some olive oil. So I'm just going to put them over here so you can see them here.
Okay.
And I'm just going to make some little cups. You'll
Lay
see what
'em
I do.
flat.
Yeah, I just lay them flat because I'm going to just put one side of them
Okay.
with some olive oil. So we're going to just brush it lightly. You see, like
Okay.
that. Just makes it easier. I do it on a plate like this.
Okay.
And right like that. Then I take them.
It's like an assembly line project.
It is a little bit,
Somebody
but
can put the little oil and.
But so well worth it. So you can
Oh,
get
yeah.
everybody involved, you know? Like
Okay.
you said, one person. And I'm just sticking them in this mini muffin tin.
Okay.
This thing comes in handy, this little muffin tin. You'll see, because I have another recipe we're using it too. And I just
Okay.
kind of take them and make a little cup. I take my finger and I kind of press them down and make a little cup there.
I am watching your every move.
It's
there.
so easy. You're just going to do this and pop them in like this. And
It's nice. So that's what makes it the
Sure.
bite size.
well, that's right. It's a
The
because it's like a little
black bean.
bite. That's
Yeah.
right. And so we could keep doing this, or we can actually. I did some already, and they're
Okay.
in the oven.
All
So
right.
what you want to do is you brush them all, put them up, put them in. You do 24. This
Okay.
little thing does 24,
Very
and
good.
then we have, and I'll move this over because this one
All right.
over here,
I will move this one over here while
Great.
you get the ones that are already made.
and we'll pull these out.
Yes. I like a colorful recipe. So much fun. And if you have kids, you can put them to work with you. Your husband, your children, your mom, your visitor, your friends. Make cooking fun at home, guys. Don't give up. It could be fun. So
we
small
go.
changes, great results. All right.
Here's our
nice.
bites. Let me shut this.
So the tips are nice and brown, and that's when it's done.
Sure. I just had that at 350 degrees for
For how
about
long?
5 minutes.
Oh,
and then you're
okay.
going to see that there are these little cups. Oh, here, you can see. See how they're like a little cup?
Oh yes.
All right. So now let's make our filling.
Okay.
Filling is so easy. We're going to take some plant-based cream cheese. Now you can buy this in the store, or you can actually make your own if you have
Okay.
a recipe for that, because you can
Wow.
use.
Is that in your cookbook?
The cream cheese isn't, no. I don't have it in
Okay.
there. I do have a good recipe for it though, but it didn't make the cookbook. I have almost 100 recipes in there. I couldn't put everything in.
Wow.
So, and then we had our black beans and we divided that in half. We're gonna blend one half of them with the cream cheese,
Right.
along with, let me get that out of the way,
Taco seasoning.
taco seasoning. And you know, that's in my cookbook actually.
Yes.
We'll put that, let me get it.
Nice.
Let's do that. And I'm gonna just push this down a little bit so we'll get that going with our food processor. So, all right.
What a simple recipe.
Very simple, but very flavorful. That's the nice thing about
Oh,
it.
yes.
So let's make sure this is on. Put that in, and then we're just gonna pulse this up until, I will actually put it on, start it on low.
Low.
Get it going.
Nice.
We want to make sure our beans are blended in so we get that flavor. I'm going to just scrape this down a little bit. Sometimes with the food processor, you need a little scrape. So we'll get that.
I will let you in this corner.
Oh, thank you.
And in this corner, we have Chef.
There we go. It's my prize fighting day here.
All right. So this is your very first recipe you created.
First one I ever did, and I actually was a finalist in
that
the
contest,
contest.
huh?
Yes. So it gave me I guess a passion. My friend Lori did she took my videos, and we did it. We had a great time doing it.
Nice.
All right, so I'm going to just pulse this up a little bit.
Okay.
All right, I think that's good. We just want to blend it up because we're actually going to mix in.
So we're going to make it creamy.
Yeah, it's very, yeah, you just want to make it so it's creamy.
Are we done with that base?
We're done. We're
Okay,
done with
cool.
it, and I'm done with this stuff
I'm just
too,
going
so we
to
can take
put it
this.
away so we can have more-
Perfect. We'll
more
move this
space.
away too, so we have a little more room. like that and that too.
Very good.
Okay, so I'm just going to take our mixing bowl here and scrape in our filling.
Oh, let me get closer to you. I was distracted.
No,
teacher.
that's okay. We're just going to scrape this.
I'm just tempted on running my finger on there and just tasting it, but I won't do that. I'll behave.
It's pretty tasty, though. I have to say, I can see what the
smells so good.
I can see what the temptation might be.
Very good. So it's nice that you leave some whole beans on there for texture,
Exactly.
for presentation.
Sure. And I like I said, I think it's about the texture, flavors, texture. We want to make foods, you know, just because we're making healthier foods doesn't mean we have to compromise in flavor.
Exactly.
And so, and texture and
that's
things like
quite
that.
frankly quite a turnoff for vegan cooking when we don't season the food correctly. I mean, we're making changes, we're making efforts, but you know, we're not putting the flavor in there.
Exactly.
So,
Well, you know, if somebody's changing their diet and they want to make these changes, especially when you're doing disease treatment, you know, you really want to adhere to a more plant-based diet.
Yes.
You go home, and if the
It's
food tastes like
overwhelming.
cardboard, or if you don't have good flavors, thank you very
Yeah.
much. I'm not the best scraper.
oh, no, that's okay. I'm going to lick the bowl right now. No, I'm just kidding.
So, but the thing is, if you don't have good flavors, then you're not going to want to eat it. Your family's not going to want
Right.
to eat it, and you're not going to adhere to a new change in your life.
That's
and so
right.
it could be life or death for some people.
That's true. Let
All
me
right.
take that
So
away
let's
from you.
blend. Mix in. Excuse me.
Let's put
these
that
beans.
towards the middle.
That's right.
There
Thank
we
you.
go. You're
Beans,
welcome.
and I have some scallions. So we're just going to put those in as well. That's just going to give a pop of freshness. The scallions, I like the.
Oh, yeah.
So we're just going to mix that in and get that just incorporated together.
Is this spoon here for a reason?
Well,
we
we
gonna
can.
spoon it,
Well,
or-
that could be what we're going to do. And actually, what we need is our plant-based cheese, because we're going to top this with our plant-based cheese.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure Mary will get it for us.
That's right. So we made that in just a little bit ago, and now we're going to use it for this.
Okay.
All right. So we have our teaspoon here. So scrape
So
that
that's
off.
the potato cheese that you're going to
Yes, we're going to use the potato cheese
Okay.
for this.
Okay, very good. So do you fill them up first, or do you have to put the cheese on top?
We're going to fill them first, and we're going to top it with our cheese.
Oh, okay.
So
very good. I will put this here and what's the measuring?
I'm just using a teaspoon. So, you just want to fill it to the top here.
Okay.
And,
Oh, I guess I should have given you the spatula,
it's
right?
okay. No, it's okay.
No? Okay.
We'll just do it like this. We're good.
Very nice.
We're just going to fill these little cups to the top.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. I could do it this way.
Okay. Oh, to the very top. Can we put the bowl on the side?
Sure,
Let's see.
sure. So everything.
Maybe we can, there
If you see
go.
here, I'm just filling them just like that.
Yes, nice. Very good. This is a fun size bite to snack for your party.
That's right.
And sometimes we don't even know what to serve, and most of the times these ingredients are in our pantry and we don't realize it. Except, of course, let's be realistic, vegan cream cheese. Nowadays, when I go to the grocery store, I'm impressed as to how many options are there. So look for them. Go to your local grocery store, inquire within, and if one store doesn't have it, go to the next. Don't give up. And of course, nowadays you can purchase everything online and have it delivered to your home, or you can go pick it up. So I encourage you to look into it and share your stories. Send her the emails. We're going to share her contact information because she wants to hear from you and your family.
That's
so,
right.
Okay.
So we're just going to
Chef
fill.
Carin.
We're going to fill these up, but actually, what we'll do is we'll put these to the side because I have some in the oven ready to go.
All right,
And now, what
very
we
good.
would do though
So
is
you sprinkle-
we would take the cheese.
Oh, you
and
drizzle
this.
it.
Now you could use shredded cheese, but we've already
Right.
made this.
Yeah.
So why not we use this? So you're going to just take a little bit and top it, and then
Okay.
what we're going to do is we would stick
Nice.
this in the oven
Yes. Okay, for how long? At what
about 5
degree?
minutes. That's it. About 350.
350.
For 5 minutes.
Okay.
It's not really. I mean, 5 minutes to do the wonton wrappers, and then 5 minutes to finish the recipe.
Wow.
So this is all we would do. We just dot that on there like this, and I'm going to go get.
And we can make this dip ahead of time.
Of course, and you can actually make these ahead of time too, and have them ready, and then just put them together before everybody shows up. Take you 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and we're just going to grab our other ones.
Okay, go to the oven and get the ones that you have got ready for us. Okay, she trusted me with the bowl of food over here. No, I'm just kidding. But it is true. Sometimes we want to make a simple get together, or even if your fellowship dinner are taking place in your churches, this would be a nice dish to take over there. Wow!
Well, look at that. That's right, the miracle
That
of
does
TV,
look
right?
nice.
So
Yes.
what we're going to do is we're going to top them now. Now I have over here. Let's move this out of the way.
Okay.
This is cool. So we're
All right.
good.
So-
And we're going to top them. So let's move our
All right.
cheese away.
I'll take
and
all
we've
of
got
this
tons of
away.
toppings. So we just do whatever your favorites are. Let me put that there. I'm just going to put a little cilantro on some. I'm going to take maybe a little scallion. So everyone can be different, so people can try all different flavors and bursts of little.
Some jalapenos in there too, or
I don't have jalapenos.
I forgot jalapenos. It's
chill-
an irritant.
It's an irritant to the stomach.
Yes.
So we don't have those, but we do have some olives.
Yeah. Very festive looking.
And yeah, see, I like to do everyone different because people like different things. So here's a little salsa on
Here,
this one.
I'm gonna
Oh,
put
that
'em
you're so
here
smart.
for you.
That's right, little.
That way.
We'll take some sour cream,
Oh yeah. Nice.
some avocado.
This looks so pretty. Very appetizing.
And here, I'm going to leave you some since you have them right there.
Okay.
Here, and then I'll
So
do
some get
tomato.
avocados. Do they all get sour cream or not?
We can put double. You can put all different things on them. If you want to put sour cream on all, you can.
Okay.
Just put a little.
Really good. So now we have another option for our little party get-together, plant-based. There's no reason why we should be missing out on really fun snacks at a party, right?
That's right. I think some of these need some cilantro. So let's
Okay.
put a little bit of
Go
that.
right ahead. Well, now you guys have the idea at home what to make. What can you possibly put on there? Maybe you have an idea of something, another topping for these, the Baja Black Bean Bites. So they look very festive and very appetizing, I must say. Well, we're ready for the next recipe. Are you at home? Ready to take down some notes? Our next recipe, what is it?
Our next recipe is our garlic hummus. You're going to have 3 cups or just 2 cans of chickpeas drained, 3 to 4 cloves of garlic, 1/4 cup of lemon juice, 1/4 cup of tahini, or 1/3 of a cup of sesame seeds that are toasted, 1/3 of a cup extra virgin olive oil, 2 teaspoons of Himalayan pink salt, 1/2 cup of water, and some paprika for garnish.
The garlic hummus is something that is very popular in my household because we love raw garlic and we love garbanzo beans. So what benefits do we have with the garbanzo beans? It's a legume.
Well, yeah, of course, and so they're high fiber, tons of nutrition. You know, they're actually blood sugar, beans in general are blood sugar regulating. So they really help to keep our blood sugar, especially for people who are struggling with diabetes.
Oh.
It's a great option. But I think that the highlight is the garlic too.
Oh, yes.
Because garlic, you know, it's antiviral, antibacterial, it's anti-everything bad
Yes.
for you.
Okay.
It's got the allicin in it, which is just so medicinal. It helps lower blood pressure. I mean, you can go
It
on and
sounds
on.
like you really love garlic.
I love, well, I'm Italian, so I can't help it. I was born with garlic. So yeah, we use a lot of garlic in our
She used to
household.
get garlic in her bottles.
That's right. That's right.
All right. What
So
do we do here?
We're going to start with our chickpeas.
Okay, so it's a dump it recipe.
Of course. I love, what is
Love
it?
it.
It's
Dump
Parties
it.
Made Simple.
Yes.
Parties
very
Made Simple. So let's put these in here.
So are these canned beans or can you use dry beans?
Either way.
dry
These are canned
garbanzo.
today to make it easy for us, but you can easily,
Yeah.
do our just dry beans.
Okay.
I'm going to add a
What's
little
next?
water here.
Okay. It's interesting that there are more and more hummus varieties in the stores. And what is that?
This is tahini.
Okay.
Now I just want to let you know though before we finish this recipe, you can add so many different things. Roasted red peppers, beets. There's so many different things you can make with hummus, whatever your pine nuts. This is just the basic garlic hummus, but you can put whatever you want in it. I'm adding some olive oil.
Very good. This is the cold pressed olive oil.
Yes, that's right. It is first
juice?
cold pressed. This is lemon juice. And then, of course, our garlic. Now, depending on how garlicly you like it, I
put
have
it all in
3
there.
to 4 cloves. We go a little heavier than that, but we do try not to offend. If, you know, when you have the garlic, as long as the other person you're with is eating garlic,
eating
you
it
should be
too.
okay. We're gonna have our salt here. Let me just get that in. And then I have paprika, but we're going to use that as our garnish.
Oh, okay.
And all we need to do is blend. And since
Are we done?
that's right, since you're on the blender, it's
I'm the
all on you.
driver here.
That's
All
right.
Let's do this. Okay, so let's go right away with the temper.
Yes.
And we're going to start on low.
You know why we start on low?
No, I just have
You want
that
to know
habit,
why?
but I don't
Because you don't want to be the recipient of showers of blessings in the wrong way. And that's why I have been. So that's why I know always start on low.
I was ready to keep rolling with this, but it's good already.
You know what? You're just really trying to get the garlic, you know, and then of course texture. If you like it a little chunkier, then use a food processor. But if not, we're going to move this over here like this so that we can pour that in there.
I guess I can pour it for you if you'd like.
Oh, please. Thank you.
Just, well, I got on my finger.
Uh-oh. What does that mean?
I need a piece of pita bread so I can get it off my finger. No. All right, so here we go. So this is the, garlic hummus, huh? Look at that beauty. Oh, yeah. Definitely, it's a very good recipe. Look at that.
All right.
How creamy it looks.
And I like to just take a little paprika.
Uh-huh.
And just
Ooh,
sprinkle
yeah.
that on just for aesthetics, right?
Yes.
We like to eat with our eyes, so let's make it pretty and festive.
Very
See, the
nice.
paprika matches the little rim on the bowl.
Oh.
See, we like to color coordinate
We
things.
thought
And then-
everything out.
And then pita chips, I just took whole wheat pitas and cut them into little triangles
Triangles.
and baked them in the oven. And so we have those, so they're a nice, healthier, whole grain version.
Voila. Well, we have more party recipes for you. Let's go to the next recipe. And what do we have next?
Okay, so our next recipe is the Carob Brownie Buttons. And we're going to start with 3/4 of a cup of coconut sugar, 3/4 of a cup of whole wheat flour, 1/3 of a cup of carob powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of coffee substitute. You could use Pero, Roma, or whatever green or herb coffee you want to use. 6 tablespoons of aquafaba, and we'll talk about aquafaba in a minute, and that's the liquid from chickpeas. 1/4 of a cup of applesauce. 1/4 of a cup of water. 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1/3 of a cup of carob chips or chopped walnuts, and that's optional.
Well, we have a dessert for you, as you were able to hear from the ingredients that we need for these brownies. Please walk us through your recipe.
Okay, we're going to do Carob Brownie
Buttons.
Oh, buttons, yeah, that's right. I call them bites because we call it, but it's buttons. That's right. So, and the reason why I'm using carob, we're not using chocolate.
Right.
And it's because chocolate has some things in it that are not good for us.
Okay.
A lot of times dairy products.
Okay.
Sometimes they have things called theobromine and caffeine. These are things that are false stimulants to our nervous system, right? And so people think, oh, you know, caffeine is good for us. The fact of the matter is caffeine is actually something that's going to, you know, bring our nervous system to think it's getting nutrition, and then it realizes it's not. So you see people go up and then they go down. So we want to stay away from caffeinated things. We want to stay from theobromine, which is just like caffeine as well.
Theobromine.
So, yes, but carob, now carob is so nutritious. It's got so many vitamins and nutrients in it, and it's just really, it's wonderful replacement. It's from the pea pod family.
Okay.
So the pea pod, they grind them up, they dry them, grind them up, and it looks like cocoa powder. We have it right here.
Wow. Yeah, it does look like cocoa powder. I
Yeah.
would have said, no, that's chocolate.
No.
Cocoa.
Well, these will be nice and chocolatey, I promise you.
Okay, we have two brown things here.
Aha.
So brown sugar and...
That is coconut palm sugar.
Oh, coconut palm sugar. We're
Yes.
using the coconut palm sugar.
Yes.
So what are the benefits of using that?
Well,
instead
you
of-
know, it's a less processed, it's minimally processed sugar. It's just the dehydrated sap from the coconut palm.
Oh,
They
okay.
grind it up and that's it. And
Okay.
so it has a nice sweetness. It's not as sweet as a refined sugar, but it does have a great sweetness. And, you know, we need to retrain our taste buds to actually enjoy things that are not as ultra sweet. And so if we can do that by using something which is healthier for us and also a little less sweet, it kind of hits both
It's the
things.
spot.
Yep.
Okay, let's button up then.
All right, so here's our buttons. That's right, we'll button up and we'll start cooking. So we're gonna use the coconut palm sugar.
Okay, nice.
All right, and we're gonna use whole wheat flour. Now this is a whole wheat flour, but it's a white wheat.
whole wheat.
That's right, a white wheat, meaning that it's the type of wheat that it is, and it's whole grain still. They don't do any kind of refining to it.
Okay.
And here is our carob powder. Now, interesting, you wanna hear a little story about carob?
Tell me a story or two.
You know,
I'm still gonna eat it.
Do you remember John the Baptist? You've heard of
Oh,
him
yes,
before, right?
yes.
Well, you remember John the Baptist lived in the wilderness. What did John the Baptist eat?
Carob.
He did, but people don't know that. You see, he had a diet of locust and wild honey, right? Well, carob is actually from the locust bush, which is in turn locust. So John the Baptist actually had a sweet tooth if you eat carob and wild honey. Together you have candy, right?
There you go.
All right. This is my secret ingredient. It's aquafaba.
Aquafaba.
Now, people will say, what is aquafaba?
Yes.
Aquafaba is actually the liquid from either chickpeas or other types of beans.
Oh.
And it actually works as an egg replacer.
Okay.
So I'm using this. Actually, we made the hummus. I just drained some of the liquid.
Right.
And we're going to use that as our egg
Excellent.
replacer, you know, so that we don't get that cholesterol and that animal product, right?
Right.
Now, we're going to use, instead of oil, we are going to use applesauce. Applesauce is a great oil
Well,
replacer.
it is a dessert, so we want to avoid using the olive oil in a dessert because it's cold pressed and the flavor is stronger.
Sure, that's right. So, and you know, I primarily only use you know, cold pressed olive oil.
Right.
So in baking and things of that nature, it's good to use this.
Okay.
So a little
Good
baking
option.
powder. Now, I have a good story about baking powder. Sometimes people say, oh, we shouldn't use baking powder. But you know, I actually found out from a great source that, you know, back in, you know, the 1800s.
What was that?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is vanilla. I'm going to
Okay.
put everything in, then I'll tell you about
Okay.
my baking powder.
Okay.
How's that?
Okay.
So I don't
Sounds
forget.
good.
A
Yes.
little Himalayan pink salt. This will bring out our sweetness and our flavors, and something to bring out a more chocolatey flavor.
Yes.
I'm using some coffee substitute.
Okay.
This is just this is a little Roma.
Okay.
And I'm going to leave these for after.
The
so
nuts later.
while I'm mixing this up, I'm
Yes.
going to tell you about baking
Tell
powder.
me the story.
So in baking powder, back in the 1800s, did you know that women actually had to put baking soda and a food acid together to make baking powder in their own home? And the problem that they faced was that baking soda is not good for our gastrointestinal system.
Oh.
So what happened was that the baking soda, they realized, the ladies in the kitchen realized, if I put a little extra baking soda, things are lighter and fluffier. So what was happening is they weren't doing the right mix, okay?
Okay.
And when they didn't do the right mix, they were getting too much baking soda, which hurt the gastrointestinal system.
Okay.
And so it was really dangerous. But now we can buy baking powders that are actually chemically balanced. And so I buy aluminum free.
Yes.
I'm actually adding some water here too, by the way, just to get our brownie batter. And so you can do that. Now I learned that story from somebody who his mother was a nutritionist, and during the 1800s and the early 1900s, and she taught her, and so she's a teacher at Andrews University, and her
Nice.
mom and she's a nutritionist as well. So I learned that story, and I was glad to find out that it's safe to use baking powder.
Okay.
It's just baking soda we want to be careful with. So
Okay.
my recipes, I always use baking powder.
Baking powder.
Yeah.
Very good.
So we just mix this up, and
It's smelling good.
here's our brownie batter.
Yes, I see that. It looks like a regular brownie
That's right.
batter.
And people would never know it's whole grain, and it's not chocolate, right?
That's right.
Yet you're getting a delicious, sweet, no refined sugar, right?
And your children can lick the bowl. There's no raw egg.
No egg in it.
Even
Excellent.
though some people drink the raw egg.
Well, I'm not going to take that chance. How's that? So now what I'm just going to do is I usually just take a tablespoon.
Yes.
I'm just going to use a tablespoon. That's the perfect measurement here. And this is just an oiled baking pan.
Mini muffin pan.
Yep, little mini muffin pan here.
Okay.
So we can just do this, and we can.
Just with a glass of oat milk.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Good.
I have a good oat milk recipe right in that cookbook.
Really?
Right there. Yes. And
Now
a
that
cashew
you
milk.
mention it,
Oh.
plant-based, made simple. So you have the recipe for the milk?
I do. Oat milk in there, yeah.
I love oat milk.
Okay, that's a good one
I'm
then.
gonna make it then. Well, folks, this is available. You can contact our guest, Chef Carin Lynch's plant-based, made simple, nutritious, and delicious. And you are welcome to contact her at the contact information we're going to be sharing towards the end of the program today. And just try the recipes and email her, send her comments about her recipes that are in there. So once you try it, recommend it to a friend. It's really nice always to share a recipe, have a recipe exchange party. That would be really fun.
Sometimes I tell people to do they can do a plant-based dinner where they invite everybody over to do like a vegetarian dinner party, you know?
Okay.
And then everybody brings something that they learn how to make. And so, and if they're doing a party, well, look at all these party recipes that we did today. Let me just grab that.
Party recipes made simple. Very good. So we're going to put this in the oven at what degree and for how long?
350, and these are going to go in
Can
for
I freeze
20
these? Are these good for freezing or not?
They are great for freezing. I totally
Okay.
do that all the time because you
Okay.
can make these ahead of time.
Yeah,
I think let me grab
that's right.
and get all this out so we can get all our brownies.
Okay, very good.
Usually, if I'm even and I'm not rushing, I get all 24. So, but you'll see, we'll just do that. Because I want to take, now you can always top them, with something. I like to take a little bit of
Walnuts.
but you can use, what I do sometimes I'll take
So you put it in before you bake it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wait, you'll see, because I have some in the oven right now, so we're going to pull those out in a minute, but you can just do this. You can take carob chips, and what I do sometimes is I'll pop the carob chip all the way in there, so when you
so
bite
it's
it,
in the middle.
you get a little burst of a little carob chip there, so it's nice and a little bit gooey. And these.
I like gooey
There we go.
brownie. Very good.
So we'll put these, let's go get these other ones out of the.
From the oven. So while she's getting that, I'm going to clear this area. And no, I'm not going to taste it right now, but I will later. It's nice to have the options. Sometimes we have friends or visitors at our church, and we'd like to treat them because they're coming into town and we don't know what to prepare for them. So instead of being discouraged, be encouraged, because there are some options that are very easy to make. Look at that beauty.
There are.
Wow, I love the presentation. Looks very
Even
nice.
just putting them on top, doesn't that make a nice little?
Yes.
It makes them a little bit decorated. Let's say.
Yeah, that looks really
and then you know
good.
what I do? I take the there we go. So this is a little trick. These will pop right out.
Okay, let's see.
See, these should be.
Oh, they do.
They pop right out. So we can do this and just stick them right like that.
Nice.
So we can decorate them like that.
Very good. Well, thank you for the suggestion of the presentation and serving. I think it's time for us to go to our last recipe that we have for the hour. And that recipe, what is it?
It's going to be our salted caramel popcorn.
Here it is, the recipe.
Okay. 2 tablespoons of virgin coconut oil, 4 tablespoons of maple syrup, 2 teaspoons of vanilla flavoring, 1½ teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and a 1/2 cup of popcorn kernels popped, which comes out to be about 8 cups of popcorn.
Well, what's a party without popcorn? Let's get popping here.
All right, so we are going to make a salted caramel popcorn.
Okay.
And I'm going to start using some maple syrup. Let me get
That's
this on.
pure maple syrup.
Pure maple syrup. So we're going to put that in there.
Yes.
Just make sure I got it all.
And it's vegan. I mean,
That's right.
Sometimes we forget how they're prepared, and people don't know that it's in tubs of bacon fat around the tubs to keep it from overboiling.
Exactly.
So.
All right, so we are also going to use some coconut oil.
Okay.
This is just extra virgin coconut oil.
Pay much attention. This is a quick recipe. It's going to go really
Very
fast.
quick.
All right.
And we're going to get that boiling there with a little bit of vanilla flavoring
Yes.
and some salt.
And salt.
And we're going to get this melted and start bubbling. And as soon as it starts bubbling,
Yeah.
we're going to whisk in some baking powder. Remember, we just talked about baking powder.
Yeah.
Baking powder is actually going to help make this like more of a caramely thickener that when we pour on our popcorn, it's going to kind of be a little silky. It's going to, but then we're going to put it in the oven. We're going to bake it at 300 degrees
Okay.
for about, 15 minutes.
Okay.
And you're going to have a crispy, delicious
Wow.
caramely caramel corn.
Never had such a thing.
So-
I'm excited to be in the kitchen today. Once again, with Chef Carin. All right,
We're
so
just
you
melting
just
this.
let it simmer in there and
Yes.
bubble away.
And as soon as it melts and bubbles, we're going to put that baking powder in. Then we're just going to have to let that, usually about 2 minutes or so. But this is pretty hot, so we'll probably get this done a little bit earlier than that.
Okay.
So,
Well, this is definitely an option because, for holidays and stuff, you
Sure.
can give these as gifts, homemade caramel popcorn.
that's right, because traditionally, caramel corn's made with sugar, corn syrup, and butter.
Right.
So we're making our version that's plant-based, right?
Oh,
So,
I'm so glad it boiled because we're
yeah,
almost out of time.
That's
here.
right. We're going to get this going. You're going to see it's going to bubble, 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 and it foams up a little bit. We're going to let that just
Oh,
boil.
wow.
And see, this is pretty.
Yes,
I told
I
this.
see that.
This is a pretty
away.
fast. Oh, there we go. We're going to just want to let this get
Simmering?
simmer just a little bit. We want to keep it bubbling,
Wow.
and it usually takes about 2 minutes, but we're going to do this the speed of lightning here, and I'm going to
Okay.
pour it in so we can show this
All right.
recipe.
I'm
So
going to
let's
turn the fire off on
Please,
you.
thank you. I'm
All
just
right.
going to pour this one. You're going to, like I said, you want to let it caramelize a bit and get nice and brown in there, but we're just doing this just for demo purposes, so I would have
Yes.
usually done this a little longer. And you're going to mix it up. And you
Wow.
just mix it, toss it. I'm in this bowl. Maybe I should have had a bigger bowl, but you just want to toss it,
Yes.
and you're going to put it on a baking sheet, and you're going to stick it in the oven for approximately, like I said, 15 minutes at about 300 degrees. So it's not ultra hot, but it's what it's gonna do is crisp up the popcorn and caramelize it.
Excellent.
So,
well, I
let's do
promised
that.
I was going to share your contact information. So we are going to that pause right now. So we would like to show you real quick this popcorn that she's pulling out of the oven just now. And you're pouring it into the bowl, right?
Or we're gonna just take this right here. And Let's do this.
Wow. Hear how crispy that is? Crunchy, crunchy? All right. Well, Chef Carin, while you're doing that, I think it's the time to go to the contact information so our friends can get a hold of your cookbook.
All right.
So we will be right back after this information, and we'll share the final products with you.
Did you like the recipes you saw today and want to know more? Well, you can contact Light Institute for Global Health Training, also known as LIGHT, at P.O. Box 58, Wildwood, Georgia, 30757. You can also call them at 706-820-9804. That's 706-820-9804. You can visit their website at lightingtheworld.org. That's lightingtheworld.org, or email them at info@lightingtheworld.org.
Well, it's time to party away with plant-based recipes, and these are simple, party, made easy recipes. So
exactly.
walk us through. What do we make today?
All right, we made our garlic hummus.
Yes.
We have our Baja Black Bean Bites. We have our potato cheese dip. Our
the
Carob
buttons.
Brownie Buttons. We have our creamy spinach and artichoke dip.
Yummy.
And of course, our salted caramel popcorn.
Oh, yes, definitely. And also, we're displaying the plant-based, made simple cookbook by our guest, Chef Carin Lynch. So we want you to be encouraged and try these new recipes. I'm so excited. I want to dig into the different recipes. But any word of encouragement for our friends at home?
I think that everybody, you know, we can all make small changes
Yes.
to have a journey to better health. And so one recipe at the time can change your life.
That's a very good counsel. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Thank you, family at home, for tuning in. Don't forget, you can get these recipes. They're available at the 3abn.tv website. You can also download the 3ABN Plus app. And don't miss any of these cooking programs that we have available for you. For now, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much
You're
for coming to
welcome.
our studios again and delighting us with these wonderful recipes. God bless. See you later.